All right, gentlemen, last up, let's talk about West Rowan and Charlotte Catholic.
Yeah, I think we were sitting there. The biggest shock of the day or the evening as we were watching the shocker, at Valley Creek was West Rowan beating Crest. I was real shocked about that. I think the bigger, a minor shock was how well that Catholic disposed of us. I mean, from everything we saw with highlights from the scores as we were tracking that, it seemed to be a quick, it seemed to be a situation where Catholic seemed to control most of the game.
Charlotte Catholic motivated. They were motivated. They wanted revenge. I don't care. They sit here and be all PG and say, hey, we just go out there and win that ball game. They wanted to make a statement to that boy who left.
I think they did. I think they made a statement. I mean, what's his name? Lamaje leaving, and going back to Huss. I mean, like we talked about, the storyline writes itself. Yeah. I mean, you knew he was going to be, that it was going to be a huge thing in their mind to say, hey, we still are a good team too. And they showed that. I mean, it's got to be disappointing for Huss with how they started the year, with the the ways that they wanted to show that they were the best. And I know Coach McCoy was looking to have a season go on a little bit longer. And
you hate for him.
No, you do. I mean, he's a great guy, great coach, but Catholic is a monster of 3A. Yeah, they've been the monster this year, 3A. And I told you earlier, until I see them lifeless on the ground, not breathing, you cannot count out Charlotte Catholic. I said that earlier. I'm saying it again.
So the biggest thing I noticed is it looks like their offense is getting going now. They had 39 against Forest View, 34 last week. They struggled a little bit in the midseason, but if that offense is going, they got the defense to carry them.
They got that
all the way through.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like it's like Herman Boone. I remember the Titans played by Denzel Washington. It's like Novocaine. Give it time. Yeah. It always works. But that's how the numbers seem to embody that. We talked about the struggles early when you're running an offense. Predicated upon reps and discipline, continuing to go down the road and get those reps and understand even with the personnel that's in there, you're starting to see the fruits of those labor. And I think that even though knowing I'm a pass first guy with option backgrounds, I see so many similarities in that to where you see, a lot of these teams where you have these mount teams running air raid, you have some of these, like I said, Catholic, some of these smaller schools that are running some of these, compact offenses where you're running wing or running, any type of
playoff
option. Yeah, it's playoff time. You've got those reps, you're experienced in what you do. Those systems a lot of times are tough to defend. And we talk about, again, with teams not really seeing those kind of offenses throughout the year, you put in situations where West Rowan's now going to come out and hopefully, they're ready to go against a tough Catholic team because, we see Catholics motivated. What has, been kind of disposed of their biggest hurdle. But we know we can't count out West Rowan, which are arguably the shock of the playoffs so far. I mean, that, disposing of a good Crest team, they're going to come in ready to go. And next thing we know, could we have 2 in a row? I don't think it, but this will be the one few times. I'm not betting on Catholic anymore. I'll get, a little more aggressive with that. But I think Catholic has got everything squared away to make sure that, I don't know what that conference is out in Union County, but that
Southern Carolina.
The Southern Carolinas, which is the most dominant conference, it seems like, in 3A football, to that quest to have 2 state champions again from that conference.
It's going to be a tough game. West Rowan got to get used to them tight formations. There's just a lot of tight formations.
Well, I think, West Rowan's coach, Joe Nix, has been around for a while.
Well, that's a plus.
You look at their schedule. I think Crest is definitely their best win. But, at this point of this year, you won't play your best football at this time.
So. Agreed. No, you're right. And that's been one of the things is like to get a big win like that. And, we talked about that a little bit with Advanced Valley Creek. You want to make sure there's no letdown because even, we always highlight the 4AA, but, I've even, told you guys a lot that 3A football is very similar. Very similar where you got, teams that, you beat Crest. Good job. Go play Catholic now. Catholic's really a 1 or 2 seed in hiding. I mean, if you were able to cut their season, in half, I mean, at times they may have played like a 6 or 7, but then towards the end of the year, they're playing like one of the best teams out here. So, that's one of those things about those 3A schedules is it's so tight that you can have a team that's great or has had a good year, outside of 1 or 2 missteps. Now all of a sudden they're a dangerous 5 or 6 because Huss only lost before that to
Vance.
To Vance, and then they beat Kings Mountain, right?
They lost to Crest.
Vance and Crest were the only 2 losses in there this year. What, they were 10? Let's see where they know.
Huss was a 4.
Okay, they were 4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, you only lost those 2 games against Vance, we've already talked about, and Crest was a 1 seed. that was not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. And so, you know, in the 3A, you see that with West Rowan, you make an upset, you get a great win, how are you going to respond from there? So I hope they can pull it together, but again, they've got another tough team. And I just don't know how that's going to look with Catholic rolling like
Come
this.
play football.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.